It was an icy New Year's Day in Dallas, Texas, as the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame made their appearance in the Cotton Bowl, this time against Southwest Conference champion Houston Cougars. Notre Dame had won the national championship exactly 1 year ago on this very field. But with that game past history, the Fighting Irish must once again shake down the thunder. With a temperature of 20 degrees, gusts of 15 to 20 miles per hour, and a wind chill factor of -6, the weather conditions worst in Cotton Bowl history held a sellout crowd down to a brave 32,500. The Irish warmed their hands and seemed to come out smoking as senior Randy Harrison took the opening kickoff 56 yards to Houston's 34. But after this scintillating run, the Cougars' defense stiffened and caused Notre Dame to give up the football. After rattling off 3 quick first downs, Houston appears ready to score. But running back Emmett King fumbles the ball, and the Irish had a reprieve. Quarterback Joe Montana immediately went to work against the Cougar secondary with a pass to Jerome Evans, good for 27 yards. Then a pinpoint shot to tight end Dean Maztek put the Irish deep in Houston territory. On 3rd and goal from the 3, Montana faked the handoff and rolled around right end to literally break the ice on this frozen field. Notre Dame missed the extra point, but led 6-0. Even the Irish were not expecting what happened on the following kickoff. Freshman Steve Sitchie booted the pigskin to Houston's return team, and it looked as if everything was set for a big return. But Sitchie charged downfield and forced another Cougar mistake. The Irish recovered the ball on Houston's 25. Notre Dame needed but 6 plays to put the ball in the end zone for a 12-0 margin. All had been too easy for Notre Dame, but that was to change as Houston punted the ball back to the Irish, and the Irish in turn fumbled the ball back to the Cougars. Soon after, Houston quarterback Danny Davis found split end Willis Adams wide open in the end zone for an easy touchdown and a 12-7 score. But Notre Dame's problems were just beginning. And early in the second quarter, Joe Montana lost the handle on the football, and the Cougars again recovered deep in Irish territory. Fullback Randy Love put the Cougars in front with a plunge-off right tackle, good for a 14-12 Houston lead. It was time for the Fighting Irish to show their colors, but they were still pressing as 2 Irish turnovers led to 2 Houston field goals. By the time these two teams headed for the warm confines of the locker room at halftime, Houston had a surprising 8-point margin. Things would get worse in the second half for Notre Dame before they could get better. On Houston's second possession of the third quarter, Danny Davis hit Willis Adams for a 20-yard gain. And in 5 more plays, the Cougars had yet another score and a 27-12 advantage. With Joe Montana in the locker room being fed chicken soup for the shivers, the Irish were unable to mount any threat and punted the ball, only to have it blocked. This set up another easy Houston touchdown scamper for a 34-12 advantage. The Cougars had what seemed like an insurmountable lead. With nearly 9 minutes gone in the third quarter, Montana returned to the lineup, and the Irish began to move the football behind the running of Jerome Heavens, Notre Dame's all-time leading ground gainer. But a fourth Montana interception once again stymied the Irish. Meanwhile, the Cougars continued to eat up the clock against the now desperate but never say die Notre Dame team. With only 7.5 minutes remaining in this Cotton Bowl, Houston was forced to punt, and the Fighting Irish finally began to respond. Working on their second win, Notre Dame freshman Tony Belvin blocked the kick, and young Steve Sitchie roared out of the pack with the ball. This 33-yard touchdown was the freshman's first collegiate score. Montana found Vegas Ferguson in the end zone on a 2-point conversion pass, and the Irish suddenly trailed by only 14 points. Now it was up to the Irish defense to get the ball back, and though they let the Cougars creep convincingly close to a first down, on 3rd and 1, the Irish held. Houston had to punt. Notre Dame got possession on their own 39, and Montana once and for all shook the cold from his body. His first down pass to Maztek was good for 17 yards. The man who had passed for over 2,000 yards in '78, again riddled the Cougar defense on the very next play with a gorgeous sideline loft to heavens. This one went for 30 yards. The Irish now have the pigskin on Houston's 14-yard line, and Montana again let fly, only to have a pass interference call move the ball up to the Cougars' 3-yard line. 3 plays later, Mighty Joe sprinted left and cut the Irish deficit to 8. Still, Notre Dame needed the 2-point conversion, and they got it on a Montana to Chris Haynes strike. The Fighting Irish were only 6 down with 4 minutes to play, and the smell of a comeback was cutting through the icy winds. Houston was determined to thwart Notre Dame's victory chances, and on first down they chunked out a 16-yard gain, only to have it nullified by a holding penalty. Still, the Cougars pounded away at the Irish middle. On 3rd and 8, with only 2.5 minutes left to play, Danny Davis must put the ball up to sustain a time-killing drive. But cornerback Dave Waymer halts Houston's aerial display with a dive worthy of All-America consideration. The Cougars must punt, but Jay Wyatt's kick travels only 27 yards before Waymer pounces on it. The Irish take over only 49 yards away from a game-tying touchdown. Chris Haynes starts the fireworks. Montana again drops back, but there is no time to pass and nowhere to go. Pressure situation on 3rd and 11, but the feisty senior quarterback responds, finding Pete Hallahan for a first down and stopping the relentless movement of the clock. Now on the Cougar 36 with 2 minutes left, Montana sets up to throw, but the Houston secondary has sealed off the Irish air lanes. Like an actor, Joe improvises until the play takes a twist, and the football writes its own ending into the hands of the clawing Cougars. The Fighting Irish have but 2 timeouts, and they use one after they throw Randy Love for a 2-yard loss. Houston simply needs 1 first down to eat up the remaining time. But again, Notre Dame pounces on the Cougars for another 2-yard loss. On 3rd and 14, Danny Davis keeps and sprints around right end for an 8-yard gain. Now Notre Dame uses its final timeout. Houston sets up to punt, and again Wyatt hits a short kick of 21 yards. But Notre Dame was offsides, and when they rerun the play, it will be 4th and 1. At this point, the Cougars decide to go for it rather than taking the chance of re-kicking into the stiff, cold breeze. The play goes nowhere as Notre Dame's defense penetrates the line of scrimmage. A second look shows number 92, freshman Joe Gramke, made the initial hit as the Big Irish defense gets the ball back on Houston's 29 with only 28 seconds to play. With no timeouts left, Montana and his troop have one last-ditch effort to orchestrate an Irish victory. No one open, he keeps right, scrambles to a first down and stops the clock. all on one quick-reacting ad-lib play. The ball is on the 18-yard line with 11 seconds left. This time, Montana finds Haynes open on the sideline. A clutch pass that sets Notre Dame up 8 yards away from the Houston goal line. 6 seconds to go. Montana again tries Haynes in the end zone, but the pass scurries harmlessly wide. Only 2 seconds and one last play remain between a miraculous victory or a devastating defeat. All attention is on Joe Montana as he rifles a pass on the run to his favorite receiver, Chris Haynes, good for the tying touchdown. Just as Montana had done through his entire career, he stood face-to-face with pressure and once again dealt the Irish an ace with a comeback pattern off a sprint out he called himself. And the Irish celebrate a miraculous comeback. The extra point try is good as the Notre Dame squad flooded onto the field. But illegal motion was called and Joe Eunice would have to try again 5 yards back. Again through the uprights, and this time no penalty. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame had pulled off a stunning 35-34 triumph over the hardy Houston Cougars. Notre Dame's Executive Vice President, Father Edmund Joyce, called it the most thrilling game in our history. And Athletic Director Moose Krause said it was the greatest Irish comeback ever. They were both right. On this freezing day, the Fighting Irish had fought back with every ounce of sweat they could muster. With his third bowl victory in 3 years, head coach Dan Devine and his Irish band had made the 1979 Cotton Bowl truly a great moment in college football history.